Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you could see by the title, we are going to be mood picking my TBR for October. So I normally don't just mood pick my TBR, I always do some type of challenge, and the reason I'm not picking it this time is because I will be going away for a week, so I want to be able to take something with me on holidays that I don't have to think about filming and kind of just enjoy, and also take the pressure off this month for October and just rejuvenate, because I have had to work a lot the last few weeks and I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. So without further ado, let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and we'll jump straight into the video. So pretty much we are going to be picking books from this shelf. I don't know how many I'm going to choose. I might maybe choose, I like to choose about 6, so then I do have options. I am not the typical person who strives to complete, like actually read my whole TBR in the month, but I do like to do at least majority of it. I just want to say this is not going on the monthly TBR because wow, but look what I just picked up. This is so heavy. I actually read someone weighed it and it was like 1.8 kilos. Like that in itself is crazy. It's so thick and heavy, and look how stunning. Wait, I need to get out so it focuses. Look how good that looks. I'm obsessed. I love it. I literally pretty much just brought it because it looks like this. So pretty much I can let you know that from here this way we aren't choosing. I can let you know that. So because of that, I have just flipped her around so you can see a bit more. So I don't know how I want to pick these. Obviously I want to go off what I feel like I want to read, but the thing is, when I kind of get into it, I start saying like I feel like reading everything. So I do need to be mindful. My number one thing that I want to focus on is smaller books. You know, about the 400 page mark or under, because they're the ones I want to take away with me. So going into this lot today, I'm primarily going to be thinking about what I want to take on holidays, but I'm not going to necessarily take these all. But we're going to grab some, we're just going to grab a bunch and we're going to see. So like I said, all of these, I don't think so. I'm thinking about Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, because her third book in this series, I believe, has just come out, and I kind of brought this and just lost interest. I brought it because of the hype. I seen it a lot, like around a lot, and that was why I brought it. So I'm thinking maybe do I just do that one just to get out of the way so I can see if the series is for me or not, because it has been a good probably 2 years, probably longer, since I did buy this. The next two I'm thinking about is Anna Todd, The Last Sunrise. So I'm going to get these ones out because these ones are actually high up on my list. So I've got Anna Todd, The Last Sunrise, and Turney Page, The Other Brother, which this is her first book, so it's also highly up there. I do think these two are really good contenders, and they do seem pretty summery too. If you didn't know, I am in Australia, so we are starting to get the warmer weather and the sun is out shining and it's beachy. So these two, especially this one, obviously screams perfect weather. Just for the summer, I want to film because it's a highly anticipated read for me. So we're just going to leave that for now. But the deal, I just want to get this over and done with. I have been wanting to read this for so long, but it's still here. And I did start reading this quite a few years ago, but I just stopped. And it was in my era where I wasn't like fully back into reading, so that could have been why, but I just need to get it over and done with. Now I was thinking about also taking these two. So we got Elizabeth of East Hampton and The Fiancé Dilemma. These two I haven't heard a great deal about, but they've just been sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I just need to do them. This is something that I won't be filming. It's just something that I was just going to read in the off period, and they're still here, but although I haven't really had much of an off period either. So I don't know, but for some reason they're just not grabbing me. I thought they would, but I don't know. If you have read these, please let me know, because I just need really good convincing to pick these up and see if they are worth it or if they are for me. Now, I'm thinking thrillers and mysteries are always such a good book to have for the road. They are so quick. So, book 3 of The Naturals. This is, I feel like, definitely going in. I actually haven't read the back of this yet, so I don't even know what happens, but pretty much book 1 was about our main character Casey. Book 2 was about Dean. They are both profilers, teenagers. If you haven't heard of the series, they're teenage profilers, and The Naturals is 5 teenagers that the FBI has brought in to help them solve cold cases and stuff like that. But at the end, if you've seen my wrap up, I believe it was my August wrap up, I read book 2, which was Killer Instinct, and I was kind of like, I don't see how, like, obviously they're going to keep solving murders and stuff like that, but the actual plot line, I have no idea what's, like, where it's going to go. And I also felt like that at the end of the first book too. So it's 3 casinos, 3 bodies in 3 days. After a string of brutal murders in Las Vegas, Cassie and the Naturals are called in to investigate. But even with the team's unique talents, these murders are baffling. All the victims were killed in public, yet the killer does not show up on any security feed, and each victim has a series of numbers tattooed on their wrist. The closer the Naturals come to solving the case, the more perilous... Is that perilous? I probably butchered that. It becomes... Oh, I can't read that next bit out loud. It's a spoiler. It is a massive spoiler. But wow, okay, that is interesting. I'm definitely taking this. Like, this is actually something that I am... It's coming. It's coming with me. I do want to read this. And one thing I love about these, they're all below 400 pages and they are actually really fast paced. Like, they are so fast paced. Even when there's nothing happening, the chapters are really short and it just sucks you in, like sucks you in. So at least we have our first actual number 1, You're Coming With Me. Okay, so I have zoomed you up a bit closer so you can see, but I want to leave these ones here. Reckless, I'm not keen on Reckless. If you know me, you know that I wasn't a huge fan of Powerless. I didn't mind Powerful. I am one of those people that believe that Powerful should have been the main story. Adina, like, please, she should have stayed. This one I'm not super keen on. I want to do a video for 1,000 Boy Kisses because it is so popular and apparently it's also really, really sad. And then we have Better Than the Movies and The Rule Book, but I feel like they're not really grabbing me. I'm not gravitating towards these two as much. Full Measures, I was thinking about reading because Rebecca Yarros's romance books are actually like really, really good. So this one is Love Can Either Break You or Set You Free. 20 years as an army brat, and Amber Howard knew that the soldiers at the door meant her dad was never coming home. What she didn't know was how she would find the strength to care for her crumbling family until a hockey star. So it's a hockey. I'll think about it. It's in the think pile. These ones here, I'm not gravitating, but I was contemplating We Were Warned. It came out this year, I believe, in March, but it is a thriller. It is YA too, I believe, but pretty much 20 years ago, like, a murder happened and then the place closed down, and then 10 years ago another murder happened, and then 10 years later that place is about to be demolished, but then another murder happens. I believe it's a bunch of students who work together to try work out who is suspicious and who the murderer is, and they need to trust each other to kind of find out. So this is, I feel like this is pretty high on my list, to be honest. Yeah. Do I just take thrillers? I don't know. Maybe. We'll give it a go. Actually, Pen Pal. Pen Pal I did have. I instantly thought about taking this one with me, actually. So we do have Pen Pal. And this, I can't even tell you honestly what this is about. So it says that the first letter arrived the day my husband was buried. It was postmarked from the state prison and it contained a single sentence. I'll wait forever if I have to. It was signed by Dante, a man I didn't know. Out of simple curiosity, I wrote back to ask him what exactly he was waiting for, and he said you. I told him he had the wrong woman. He said he didn't. I said we'd never met, and he said I was wrong. And it kept going back and forth, increasingly more intimate. Then one day the letter stopped. When I found out why, it was already too late. Dante was on my doorstep, and nothing on earth could have prepared me for what happened next. So it does say that it is a dark romance with an unforgettable twist. And if you watch Belle, she actually read this, and she said, like, I thought the same as what she thought. It was just your typical dark romance, pen pal type of thing. They fall in love, whatever. But apparently it is actually a lot more than that, and the twist in it you actually do not see coming, and it's like it throws you off. Like it's completely different to what you go in to this book thinking. So this is a definite must. And then for the rest, I just have a bunch of fantasy. I don't think I want to take really any fantasy. I do have some more thrillers. Like I have 2 Lisa Jewell ones. I was thinking of taking Hush Hush because I absolutely loved Fallen when I was a teen, and apparently if you really love Fallen, like you'll love this universe and series. So I haven't actually read it yet. I was thinking maybe this is the time, but when I come back I want to read fantasy then. So then I've got Then She Was Gone, which is she was 15, her mother's golden girl. She had a whole life ahead of her, and then in a blink of an eye, Ali was gone. 10 years on, Laurel? Summer, I turn pretty. Laurel has never given up hope finding Ali, and then she meets a charming stranger who sweeps her off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is when she meets his 9-year-old daughter, because his daughter is the image of Ali. Now all of those unanswered questions that have haunted Laurel, no, we're not in Gilmore Girls, Laurel, come flooding back. What really happened to Ali, and who has secrets to hide? Oh my god, is his daughter like Ali? I'm just going to read the first, you know what? I'm going to read the first page. Okay, so there's actually a prologue. I'm just going to quickly read the prologue and see if I like it. What? That's like a twist in itself. And then it goes part 1. Okay. Wait. Are these really short chapters? If these are short, oh my god, these might be super short. I might even start this today because I'm intrigued. So intrigued. Wow. Okay. I'm confused. I'm so confused on that, what I just read. Like you want to keep going because you're just like, huh? And at the moment, I don't know, it kind of like, okay, so in the prologue, she has a school crush on this guy. I believe his name was like Theo, was it? Theo, yeah, has a crush on him, and people think he's gay and stuff. And then he finally, like the following summer, he starts a conversation with Ali, and then it literally says, like, it was totally obvious that he liked her, and then just like that, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. She thought it would be more complicated, but one wrong move, one tiny kink in the timeline, it was all over. Not just the love story, but all of it. Youth, life, Ali Mac, all gone forever. If she could rewind the timeline, untwist it and roll it back the other way like a ball of wool, she'd see the knots in the yarn, the warning signs. Looking at it backwards, it was obvious all along, but back then, when she knew nothing about anything, she had not seen it coming. She had walked straight into it with her eyes open. So, does that have something to do with Theo and his mum? Like, I want to keep going. Okay, so that's pretty much all the books that I want to... Oh my god. I've just picked out so many. Anyway, I've picked out 8 that I was thinking about taking on holidays. But, you know, yeah. Okay, so then we got the fantasy. Now, I do want to read a fantasy book in October. And the one that I want to read, okay, listen. There's this other fantasy book that I want to read called Bound. But I have told myself that I can't buy it until I read this other one that's been sitting on my shelf for a whole year, because I also do really want to read this one too. So I've tied it with something and I have to read it. So then I can go buy Bound. And that is Quicksilver. And also because this second book is actually coming out like very, very soon. I believe it's like October, maybe November. Oh, so it's the 17th of November. So if I read this in October, we are set. This book is chunky. It is huge. It is a whopping 600 pages. But yeah, this is definitely going on my October TBR. I finally need to get to it. I still don't know much about it except that everybody loves Kingfisher and it's fae. I believe it's got magic. I think saving kingdoms or something. I honestly don't know. Okay, so we have picked out a stack and I mean these 5, they were the ones that were definites. So let's just double check. We have Quicksilver, which is a definite yes. I do want to read that this month. This is a definite because I just want to continue that right now. So we have a thriller. Then we have Pen Pal, which I also want to take away with me to read on holidays. So I literally leave tomorrow morning. So I reckon I'm going to take these 2 with me. And then I will also have my Kindle. Then we have We Were Warned and All In, which are also both thrillers. But okay, if I was to pick, what would I do? If I do this, I'm closer to finishing the series and they are really quick and fast paced. But also this, I haven't really heard much about. It is pretty short. It's just over, like, it's about nearly 350 pages. Something different, something new, a mystery, Murder Town. I think I'm going to do that one. So we're going to put All In back. And then we have romances that we picked out. So I don't think I'm going to do Full Measures. I need to just read The Deal and get it over with because I actually have a video where I need to read it and I am literally just waiting on reading that one. And then, oh, this one sounds really good. And I honestly, I just love the look of this and I want to read Anna Todd's new book because she made me fall back in love with reading. I absolutely love the After series and it's just a really good, pretty book. But I feel like this does give me more summer vibes. So I think I'm just going to leave it for summer, which means I'm going to put the other brother on there. But this one is, she was meant to be with one brother, but what if the other was the one she was meant to be with all along? And yeah, I think it's band. Yeah, so he's a bass player and April is, she has everything, like literally everything. The job of her dreams, the perfect man, fiance, everything. And that she obviously falls in love with the brother. So that's definitely going on. We actually ended up with 6. I wasn't even counting or trying to stay on track to 6, but I guess it's supposed to be. So that is it for this video. Let me know if you have read any of these. If you have, what is your favorite? What did you rate them? And do you have anything that you didn't like about them? I would like to know in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this version of picking out my TBR for a month. If you did, please let me know because am more than happy to do more and talk through what books I do have on the shelf, what plans I've got for them as well, and just my thoughts on what I'm thinking. But it was a bit of a good kind of palette cleanser, and hopefully this month, like I said, I can just rejuvenate and just chill out with reading, enjoy what I feel like is gravitating towards me, instead of forcing myself to read something that I'm just not in the mood for, because I feel like that does alter your outcome and your rating and how you feel in general. So don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.